Forget the gravitational ballet of planets and moons. This is a story about a hidden force, so small it took 2 decades for NASA to believe it existed. It began with the Pioneers. Launched in the early 1970s, Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11 were trailblazers, the first human-made objects designed to leave our solar system. But as they drifted into the deep unknown, navigators noticed something impossible hidden in their radio signals. The probes were slowing down. Not by much, but relentlessly. Every year, both spacecraft fell slightly behind their predicted course, as if pulled back toward the sun by an invisible hand. A constant, unexplained acceleration of 8.74 times 10 to the minus 10 meters per second squared. This became known as the Pioneer Anomaly, a mystery that, for a time, threatened to rewrite the laws of physics. Was it dark matter? Was gravity flawed? The truth, when it finally came, was stranger still. The spacecraft had been transmitting the secret all along, encoded in the very data it sent home. It was the story of a machine quietly predicting its own drift through the language of physics. The Pioneers were perfect for this discovery. Unlike modern spacecraft, they were spin-stabilized, which made their motion exquisitely predictable. They were powered by radioisotope thermoelectric generators, nuclear batteries that produced electricity from the decay of plutonium. By analyzing the Doppler shift of their radio signals, scientists could track their velocity with astonishing precision. But the readings revealed an unexpected blue shift, a subtle but consistent sign that the probes were decelerating more than expected. For years, theories multiplied. Perhaps Einstein's equations weren't quite right. Perhaps some form of cosmic drag or dark energy was tugging at the spacecraft. Yet the simplest possibility remained. The source might be the spacecraft itself. What internal force could produce a steady, sunward push? The answer lay in 2 basic facts of their design: the nuclear power generators and the massive dish antenna that always faced Earth. Heat, after all, is a form of radiation, and radiation exerts force. This is the thermal recoil force. The Pioneers radiated heat unevenly. Because of the dish's shape and position, much of the waste heat from the RTGs and electronic compartments was re-emitted forward, off the antenna's surface. Each photon of infrared light carried a minute amount of momentum. Over time, those escaping photons acted like a constant, microscopic rocket engine, a self-induced push that gently slowed the spacecraft. The effect was tiny but relentless, matching the magnitude of the Pioneer anomaly almost perfectly. The spacecraft were being nudged backward, not by gravity or dark matter, but by their own warmth. Still, elegant theory was not enough. Proof required numbers, temperature readings, power levels, and geometry changing over decades. To calculate it, scientists needed the telemetry data, the continuous stream of engineering readings that described the spacecraft's internal conditions. But there was a problem. Those records had vanished into history. The data was stored on obsolete magnetic tapes, scattered across NASA's archives. The drives that could read them had long been scrapped. The information needed to solve one of space exploration's greatest mysteries was literally decaying in forgotten boxes. Enter Dr. Slava Turyshev and his team at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. They became digital archaeologists. Hunting through basements and warehouses, they unearthed dozens of reels of magnetic tape. They restored vintage tape drives, rewrote obsolete decoding software, and recovered more than 40 gigabytes of lost telemetry, the spacecraft's heartbeat across 3 decades. With those recovered readings, the team built a complete thermal model of the Pioneer spacecraft, a time-dependent simulation of every watt of heat, every surface reflection, and every photon emitted. And when they compared the calculated recoil force to the measured anomaly, the match was almost exact. The mystery dissolved. The deceleration of 8.74 times 10 to the minus 10 meters per second squared was not new physics. It was the spacecraft's own design, whispering its secret through the steady rhythm of its telemetry. The pioneers had predicted their own trajectory drift, their own gradual fading, through the data they sent home. The pioneer anomaly became a lesson in humility. In the emptiness of deep space, where gravity fades and friction disappears, even the warmth of a nuclear battery can become a cosmic force. The pioneers proved that the universe does not always hide its truths in distant stars or exotic particles. Sometimes they are found in the heat of a machine, in the whisper of data, nearly lost to time. Yet what makes this story remarkable isn't only the physics. It's the way human patience met machine persistence across half a century of silence. Each pioneer carried a tiny plaque, a golden engraving showing two human figures, our solar system, and a map of pulsars pointing home. It was meant as a message to whoever might one day find them. But in a deeper sense, the true message was never carved in gold. It was transmitted in binary, carried in radio waves so faint that a single photon could take minutes to reach us. Those bits of telemetry, the heartbeat of a fading machine, crossed billions of kilometers to whisper, "I am still here. I am still warm." For decades, scientists believed those signals were only housekeeping data. Voltages, temperatures, power levels. Nothing poetic. Yet, buried in that monotony was a cosmic confession. The very noise of the transmission, the tiny changes in timing, the gradual weakening of its carrier tone, all encoded the spacecraft's aging body. Like a pulse slowing over time, the signal contained the answer to its own enigma. When Turashev's team reconstructed the old data, they found not just numbers, but a history of decay made visible. The RTGs cooling as plutonium decayed, the antenna alignment shifting by microradians, the power output falling watt by watt. Every part of the Pioneer's anomaly had been faithfully reported by the probe itself. For decades, we simply hadn't listened closely enough. It's a humbling reminder that technology, no matter how simple or old, can carry truths larger than its makers imagined. Sometimes, the universe doesn't need to speak to us through stars or black holes. Sometimes, it speaks through static, through the fading breath of a machine that refused to stop talking. Today, the pioneers are silent, drifting farther each year into the dark beyond the sun's reach. But their final message endures, a reminder that no mystery is too small to matter, and no data is too old to speak. Because in the end, the universe doesn't need to break its own laws to surprise us. It only needs to remind us how little we notice the forces we create ourselves. Don't miss the next truth hidden in plain sight. Subscribe to explore more extraordinary facts and mysteries. Veil Origins. Impossible Truths.